Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Less Than Average Gaming. Today we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about games being remastered and whether or not this is a good thing. I've got some pretty generic gameplay in the background, so feel free to watch that if you're interested in it, or just listen to me talk. Anyway, as I do work in a game store, it's often my job to help customers make decisions about their purchases. Hype is an interesting beast when it comes to video games. Games from the big AAA companies always build loads of hype, like the new Call of Duties, Battlefields, FIFA games, and so on. These always build hype because people are familiar with the brands, basically what they see, like TV and ads on Facebook and YouTube and people talking about them, their favorite YouTubers going on about games, hyping them up for them and making people so excited. So people do end up attaching themselves to those releases and then they get hyped because that's basically the kind of games they enjoy. So they're looking forward to the next one. But what about remastered games? Hype is usually built for these games as a result of the nostalgia you have in your head, which, as many of you know, is often very rose-tinted, meaning that the actual memory you have of the game, for example Crash Bandicoot, is often going to be better than the remaster they're going to bring out for it, because for all intents and purposes, you're still buying the same game you bought 15 years ago, or however long it's been. Personally though, I know people will buy the shit out of that game. I mean, I've seen how many orders we have of it, and it's insane how many people are super excited for that game. But are they going to hang on to it? Are they going to be able to return them straight away, or are they going to trade them in because they're not actually interested in those games anymore? Probably. I'm not actually 100% sure of what's going to happen after it comes out. Similar to the new installment into the Ratchet & Clank series, which they made at the start of last year. I mean, I was super hyped for it, but I was actually a victim of my own hype because it was a pretty good game, but it wasn't something that I considered buying a whole new console for, which I actually did contemplate at the time. So people end up returning it and trading it in because they weren't into it anymore, or they didn't like it, or they basically finished it too quickly, or it wasn't the same game that they enjoyed when they were 15, or whatever their reason was. Most people didn't hang on to it because it wasn't the thing they liked anymore. This, in my opinion, will probably happen with the Crash Bandicoot remake as well. Platformers of that variety have taken a serious dive since probably the early 2000s, if not earlier than that. Very few games that have come out have been straight up 2D/3D platformers. Why? This is usually because there are bigger and better things now. Game companies and games have evolved so much that there's just so many more things that they can do besides making a character jump and climb and do those sorts of basic things. Like, games are so much better now that it's just almost unbelievable. I did do a little bit of research for this video, and the popularity of platformers has continued to slide since about the 1980s. It's basically just gone downhill since then. Why? Because they aren't that exciting anymore. It's my opinion that people played platformers because that's basically all there was. It was all they knew, all the thing that they were excited for. Oh, Mario, Sonic, Crash, Banjo-Kazooie. All games that the vocal minority ask for currently. Hey, can we get another one of those? But it's really just rehashing old assets that they have, like Mario and Crash and Sonic and stuff like that, and just calling it a new game and adding like a new idea that changes it slightly, like the new Mario that's coming out. His hat talks and it flies and you can walk around a 3D open world city, which... It's basically the same Mario game, but where's the difference? I do hope the Crash Bandicoot game does succeed, though, because the third game, Wrath of Cortex, is one of my fondest gaming memories. Like, it was literally the first game I ever played on the PS2. But to see people so goddamn excited about it isn't something that I'm really interested in, because it's just... there isn't anything there anymore for me. I've already had those memories. I don't need to relive it. I don't need to buy a PS4 and go and, oh, hey... fuck yeah, I'm going to buy the new Crash Bandicoot game, because it's not the new Crash Bandicoot game, it's the old Crash Bandicoot game, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I do want to see what you guys feel about this in the comment section below. Try and explain to me the gameplay of Crash Bandicoot for me, and see if you can come up with something that isn't just, you're a Bandicoot who jumps and collects fruit, and sometimes he spins to break boxes. It does sound rather cynical when you put it like that, but I'm not excited for it, nor do I think that anyone should be, because it's just the same game that people enjoyed, but their memory is way skewed because that was literally 15, 20 years ago. That was so long ago. But of course, come June 30th, we will see if people are still madly in love with Crash Bandicoot as they think they are. On a similar note, I think this is a similar situation to what we saw with the Skyrim remaster that came out last year. People were so hyped about it, like, fuck yeah, I've been dying to play Skyrim on the PS4. It's such a good game. It's going to look so good. But be that as it may, it is a very good game. Just not one that I enjoy. I always get lost, and that's a different story. But we saw so many of those copies that we sold come back with people saying that, yeah, it's just the same thing that I've already played. Can I have my money back? It's not any different. You basically sold me the same game I bought 5 years ago, which was beyond frustrating. People have already invested hundreds of sometimes thousands of hours into the Skyrim characters and the 360 and the PS3 that when they finally got what they thought they wanted, they were bored after an hour. People were already done. They've already played lots of the game. Sometimes they even finished it and they were like, oh, hey, let's play it on the PS4. It's going to be mad. It's going to be everything that I want it to be. I can experience the whole thing again. And then once you get to that, you're saying that you literally have already experienced the whole thing. So what's the point? Granted, that is slightly a different example as the original Skyrim only came out in 2011, so people's memories were more fresh of Skyrim as they'd played it through 2012, 2013, 2014, and so on. Up until basically the remaster came out, people were still playing that, whereas Crash Bandicoot, there hasn't been a game for a reasonably long time, so people are still like foggy on their memories. They don't have anything to associate it to that's recent, so they're thinking, oh yeah, that game's going to be sick. So yeah, don your rose-tinted goggles, ladies and gentlemen, if you must, but do be wary, because indulging yourself in gaming nostalgia is very rarely a good thing, in my opinion. It's interesting to see how that kind of phenomenon works, though. It's like your brain is telling you to relive the memories you have of playing the game that you enjoyed so much as a kid, but then you try and recreate those memories with the remaster and you end up being disappointed, because you've literally already seen the same thing before. It might just have a different coat of paint, or the art assets might look a bit nicer, it's a little bit shinier, and he isn't as polygonal as he was before. You're very unlikely to feel the same way and have the exact same experience you had when you were a kid, because you're not a kid anymore. Like, you've already made those memories, you already had those memories, you're never going to be able to be like, fuck yeah, I've completely forgotten about this bit, this is incredible, the opening of this game is amazing, because once you see it, you're going to be like, oh, hang on, I've seen him, like, have to run off and, like, try and get all the Wampa fruit back, and I've seen the guards cut the guy's head off before, and then the dragon turns up at the castle. What is there anything new? Like, there's anything new here, or can I do something different? Or I don't think you should indulge yourself with games like that and tarnish the fantastic memories you have of games that are old, because they very rarely live up to the hype and the memories you have in your head. Do let me know what you guys think about the game remasters in the comment section below. I would love to have a conversation with you guys about how you feel about it, because it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. Like, I'm reasonably strongly against game remasters, basically because it's a cop-out. It's largely a cop-out designed to make money off people's nostalgia. Literally, like the Skyrim remaster, that rather than make a new game, they decided that, oh yeah, we're just going to make a remaster of an old game that came out literally 6 years ago, I think. So rather than working on a new game, we're just going to try and make some more money off people. But yeah, do let me know how you do feel about it, because I can absolutely talk about it for longer than I can put in a tolerable video. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening to this one. Do let me know in the comment section below if you are interested in these chats kind of conversations about the gaming industry in general, because I do like having them, as I do this at work basically all the time. This is just some of the conversations that we have. We go off on tangents about games and remasters and stuff like that all the time. So I do have lots of other topics that we can talk about that if you want to. Also, let me know in the comment section below if there is a game that has been remastered or is getting remastered that you are super excited about, because I would love to see your opinions on those and just have a chat and see if you are still excited about those when they come out and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if there's a game that you like or is coming out that has been remastered, and we'll talk about it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been Luke from Less Than Average Gaming, and I hope you guys have an above average day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!